welcome to another installment of Metalhead Central, the show where I take an honest look at the harder and heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. We're breaking temperature records here in South Tennessee. It was in the 70s the other day. And this week we have an album where the vocalist's voice and the guitarist's fingers are breaking just as much as the temperatures here are. With shredding solos and squeaky vocals comes From Hell With Love by Beast in Black. It was released February 8th on Nuclear Blast. Of course, Nuclear Blast is one of the world's biggest heavy metal labels, so I always expect a ton when I review an album from these guys. This was an album full of a ton of highs, and I mean a ton of highs. I make reference here to the band's vocalist, who shrieks his way through the album like Mark Hudson of Dragon Force on Helium. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go through what was wonderful about the album. The music itself. Every song has this new melodic twist to it that makes it incredibly enjoyable. Like Saxon's Thunderbolt from last year, they take new wave of British heavy metal style of music and throw in a lot of these symphonic hooks that keep the listener's attention. It's powerful and it's rather lovely. A lot of the songs here are wonderfully written tunes that partially evoke the ghosts of bands like Metalhead and older Iron Maiden, stuff like Number of the Beast, and maybe even before that. The guitar work here is kind of typical power stuff with a lot of punch and big guitar solos to end things out. Cry Out for a Hero, the title track, Sweet True Lies, True Believer, and Heart of Steel would be well-suited songs for any Iron Maiden album. While I do believe that the guitar work is one of the strengths of this album, it's also a little bit of a weakness, because it does tend to get a little repetitive towards the end. It's like, okay, we've heard these riffs, give me something new. However, in yet another twist, the album's strongest songs are actually towards the back half of the album. Yeah, the guitar work is still a tad repetitive, but the melodies are definitely at their peak here, and it's strong enough to carry that. Heart of Steel is a brilliant song and probably my favorite on the record. It's got a powerful chorus and lyrics that speak of a brave warrior fighting through trials in order to find a better existence. Yes, this was definitely the best song on the album. It also features two covers of songs by Motorhead and Robert Tepper. Both are very well done and pay tribute to their original artists very well, but my favorite is the cover of Motorhead's Killed by Death. It's quick-paced and very aggressive, thus keeping to Motorhead's style of playing, and it also features Beast in Black's lead vocalist, Yannis Papadopoulos, doing his best Lemmy impression. Seriously, the dude tries to have the same gravelly vocals that Lemmy had. You can attempt to be a metal master like Lemmy, but you will never be that metal master. No one will ever surpass Lemmy as far as those gravelly vocals go. It was a trademark of his, and it always will be. Like I said, you can emulate it, but you can't ever duplicate it. So there you go. Speaking of the vocals, that's the weakest part of the album. Once again, it seems as though Yannis is trying to emulate another British metal legend, Bruce Dickinson. Just all throughout this album, he is getting his Dickinson on. His high-pitched vocals are passable at points, good at points, and really bad at points. His voice cracks a lot, which leads to a lot of problems within the singing itself. The reason someone like Dickinson is able to be taken seriously is because he's so good at his craft and he makes those higher vocals work. He can sing in that higher register. Here, it's as if Yannis didn't know where he was going with his vocals, so he just decided to sing as high as is physically possible for a male performer through 98% of this album. The 2% that he sings at a lower level is actually very enjoyable. There is no rule that says that power metal has to be extremely high vocals all the time. If he would have sung a couple steps lower than he was, the album would have been that much more enjoyable. All in all, Beast in Black put forward a solid album, full of enjoyable music and very entertaining vocals. Hey, just because they ain't good all the time doesn't mean they aren't entertaining. The music itself is definitely worth coming back for, and if Yannis works on his vocals, I could see this band being major players in the power metal game down the road. Of course, this band was formed after one of the members left another much bigger power metal group Battle Beast. But this is only Beast in Black's second album, so I would assume that they would mature over their subsequent releases as any good band should. Let's hope. Beast in Black's From Hell With Love gets an 88 out of 100 on the YPS scale. Thank you so much for watching. Click like and subscribe if you haven't for more content just like this. Next week we are continuing our power metal journey with Avantasia's new album Moonglow. I liked a ton of stuff off of their last album, so I'm really looking forward to reviewing this new one. Thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all next time.